Hey, it's the Empire. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon for more videos. We taking over. Let's go, champ. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's go.
Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, Backstreet Boxing. Now, man, my boy Andy Ruiz, man, the first WBA, IBF, WBO, Ring Magazine Unified Champion, Mexican Unified Champion of all time, man, of all time. He made history when he beat Anthony Joshua and when he beat him in New York, man. And wow, ever since then, people have been sleeping on the guy. People think that, he's not much of a big name. Because recently they announced Andy Ruiz versus Chris Arreola, and everyone's saying, is that really a big fight? Is that really a big fight? And I say, is Canelo versus Anthony a big fight? Because Canelo, that fight happened, and Dance is a subscription-based platform. That means if you never had Dance before, you're gonna have to pay to get Dance to watch Canelo Alvarez, i.e., a paid subscription. That being said, Andy Ruiz versus Chris Arreola will be a paid fight, and I think this is good for boxing. A lot of people talk about how this is not a good big fight and yada yada, but understand this. In the States, how many heavyweight fighters are fighting on pay-per-view? You got Deontay Wilder, and who else do you have? I'll answer for you. Nobody. Top Rank, as elite as they say they got their fighters, they don't have any top heavyweight fighters right now fighting on pay-per-view right now. So that's not a thing, right? And even if Andy Ruiz doesn't do big numbers right away, Terrence Crawford, when he fought Victor Postal, that fight barely did over 100K. I think it did like 90K if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it didn't even do that much. And we all understand that Terrence Crawford is the number one pound-for-pound fighter just based on getting all the titles at 140 alone. Now, that being said, Andy Ruiz made history in his own right by becoming the first unified heavyweight Mexican champion. He had almost all the titles besides the WBC. Now, that being said, you know what they say, man. If you want to make an omelet, you got to crack a few eggs. So, that being said, man, Andy Ruiz, yes, maybe this fight won't do extraordinary numbers the first time. But that's how you build a business. You got to put money in to make money. You got to spend money to make money. And building Andy Ruiz up, by fighting Chris Arreola is big to get the Hispanic fan base behind him, to show him who he is. And he's been getting in shape, and he's starting to not just have the skills to be the best of the best, but to look the part as well. If you want to be the part, you got to look the part. Aesthetics are everything. Looking the part is everything. And Andy Ruiz has been losing an extreme amount of weight. He's looking better and better as of late. So that being said, behind Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, this Chris Arreola versus Andy Ruiz fight, this will be the second biggest fight in American boxing. There's no doubt about it. There's no fight bigger than that right now. Tell me I'm wrong. There's no other fight in boxing heavyweight right now that's going to do bigger numbers than Andy Ruiz versus Chris Arreola in America. It's not going to happen. That's just the biggest fight there is, and rightfully so. A lot of people want to talk about how Chris Arreola isn't better than this and that, but understand this: Andy Ruiz will carry the card, just like Canelo can fight a bum and it still sells. Andy Ruiz is the commodity. Whoever else he fights is just a challenger. Understand that. So Andy Ruiz will definitely be carrying the card. And we're going to see how this whole thing plays out, man. We don't know who's on the undercard yet, but Al Heyman definitely stacks his undercards. So Uncle Al's going to have it stacked for sure for Andy Ruiz to give him some of that more star power. Who knows, man? Maybe he might put him on there. Maybe he might put Benavidez on there. I'm just throwing things out there. There's a lot. If you want the Latino fan base, you might as well have a Latino featured card. That'd be huge. Now, we're going to see how this whole thing plays out, man. I'm really glad Al Heyman's putting money behind his lesser fighters, the people written off. And Andy Ruiz is definitely an elite level fighter. I have him as my top 5 fighters at heavyweight for sure. Anyway, man, there's only a handful of fighters that can really test him, like a Luis Ortiz, Alexander Povetkin, Dillian White. Only a handful of fighters outside of the champions, Deontay Wilder. There's not that many fighters that can really test Andy Ruiz. And yeah. So that being said, man, let me know how you guys feel about it though. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Peace.